This is Boxing Tickets NI. We are delighted to be joined by the split personality. He's got a new haircut, so we're now calling him Graham McCormack, aka Hank. How are you, mate?
That really does that's me all out, Hank. That's 100% me. That's me most of the time. Graham is my other personality. Hank is me most of the time.
Which one are you today then? Are you Graham or are you Hank?
We'll see how the interview goes.
It's not it's obviously it's not boding well for me, so I'm bothered, I think, today. Um
Yeah.
Graham, is it probably fair to say you're probably going through, well, I guess, as anything, and obviously, and I think I said to someone in an interview the other day, Ashton Brown, obviously it was similar. Is it sort of similar to yourself, where obviously jail time, obviously mental health problems, obviously drug addiction and things like that? And obviously I was saying like life's not all sunshine and rainbows. Is it probably fair to say recently that we probably, 2024, we obviously haven't had the best start of the year, but in some ways, probably big longer camps and things like that probably haven't helped.
Mm. Yeah, look, I mean, like, it's definitely been the worst run in my boxing career, realistically. I haven't won a fight in, like, even Craig McCarthy, like, it's down as the last of my books, you know what I mean? So I haven't won a fight in a while, you know what I mean? So coming off two bad performances, like last fight, I didn't even perform, didn't even get a chance to perform. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really go off that one realistically, you know. So yeah. Look, I'm coming off a bad run realistically, but a draw and a loss and a stoppage loss at that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been a bad run. You know what I mean?
I'm just looking, obviously, it's actually scary. Obviously, your last obviously one was in March of last year, and
Yeah.
I guess that's boxing sometimes, isn't it? And like, you know, it's fair to say that, even though obviously you were beat last time out by George Liddard, you obviously were on a massive card. Obviously, you were on a matchroom card and stuff like that. Like, in some ways, you're sort of going, and I know obviously you had your son with you and walking you out and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
in some ways, you can sort of be thankful because we've done many interviews, and obviously, for you to say that you got to the point you were, it was a blessing. But,
Mm.
like, you can always say to everybody, you've boxed the matchroom card,
Yeah.
that's the pinnacle of sport sort of for you.
I'll be straight up honest. I haven't done the interview since after that fight. This is my first interview since after that fight, to be honest. So I'll be straight up honest. I'm not ashamed to say it. I completely bottled that job walking out to the ring. Now, George Taylor's a great fighter. Would he beat me? Who knows? Probably. But what I'm saying is, walking out that ring, my head completely left my body. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know where I was. It just hit me like a fucking hammer. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Walking out, there's cameras in my face. And all that's going through my head then, right, is why the fuck did I pick this song, right? My young fella is standing beside me and he's like, all right, Dad. I'm like, yeah, yeah. And I look over then and Eddie Hearn is there and he's like this, and I'm like, my head was gone, right? It was completely gone. I was floating down, right? Got into the ring, then walked over, and Shaun, I don't know if anyone see Shaun filmed me. He said, I can see you're not tuned in. He said, fucking tune in. From that time, right, inside the ring, I didn't even know George Liddard walked to the ring until I was looking across from him. I didn't even realize he was in the ring. Sean's having the said, come on, will you? My head was completely gone, but just, it just happened, man. It just stage fright, nerves. I don't know what the fuck came over me, man. But like I've always been my own worst enemy, bud. You know what I mean? Inside the ring and definitely outside the ring, I've always been my biggest enemy. You know what I mean? And the nerves just got the better of me that night, bud. And the whole occasion, I suppose, when you look back at it, I sat a lot on my own after the fight, and when you look back at it, it's like, I really am a kid from the streets. I really wasn't supposed to get there. I really am supposed to be doing so well in life, and I am. And then getting there to that stage of my career, it was like it felt like the last 7 years of my professional boxing career just went in the blink of an eye. All of a sudden, I'm standing in this ring with cameras all around me, and loads of people looking in, and Eddie Hearn there, and fucking Darren Barker, and whoever else is there sitting beside. I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on here? Like, and just general went through my head. Said, how the fuck am I? How am I even here? What's going on here? Like, so then fucking the bell rings. I mean, after a couple of jabs, I'm like, man, this fella chef. So the game plan was, right, box and move around for 3 or 4 rounds and then put it on him for 4 rounds. Yeah, that's what the game plan was. But so, man, that was gone out the window the minute the bell rang, right? I was trying to straight across, right? The man caught me a couple of jabs, common shots. So I threw 2 shots, I landed 2 shots at him. Then I went to throw it two, and he just caught me both flush, and it was a peach of a shot, man. It was a beautiful. And I tell you what he is. He's a nice kid. I was chatting to him after. I've been chatting to him a couple of times since. Very nice kid. Caught me with a peach of a shot, right? So next thing I know, I'm on the ground, and I'm like, what the fuck? But like, my head was fine, but my legs were jelly, man. My legs were genuine jelly. But I said to myself, right, 20 seconds, I'll be fine. 20 seconds, I ran out. So I looked over to Shaun was like, oh, be careful, whatever. So I jumps back up. So man just jumps at me, man, throws the punches. But he caught me here, just over my ear here. And my legs were just jelly. I tried to hold on to his hand. Man, my legs were just gone, but my legs were completely jelly. But before that, man, my head was gone. Before my body was gone, my head was gone. So unfortunately for me, but I made it to a great stage and the nerves got the better of me and hindered my performance. And plus, George Liddard is a very, very good, talented fighter and caught me with a peach of a shot and took my legs from underneath me. Unfortunately, that's the game we're in. It's boxing. I'm not the kind of fella to crib and moan about it. But I'll tell you one thing, it's probably the toughest 10 days or 2 weeks I've ever put down in my life after it. Not because, I lost another boxing match. Who gives a shit? Nobody cares if I lost another boxing fight or not. You know what I mean? I've lost fights before, but it's how I lost. You know what I mean? I'm known as a hard man, and that's the truth. That is what I'm known as. I'm known as a tough man. And look, it just looked bad for me. So I spent a lot, like when all them fights are over, man, nobody is around you. Like everybody leaves, you know what I mean? So it's just you. Obviously my wife, my kids who are always around me, you know what I mean? But my wife was at work, my kids were in crash. I was on my own, man, and sitting down, I'm like, what the fuck? It was hard. It was a hard week after that fight, man. You know what I mean? It was a very, very hard week after that fight. Just mentally, man, you know what I mean? Of processing with myself what the fuck happened and stuff like that. But look, I'm over it now and that's it, man. We move on from it. You know what I mean?
Like, obviously, a couple of weeks prior to that, obviously, you're supposed to be fighting. Obviously, it was initially supposed to be in England, it was supposed to be in, I think, Wales, and then it was obviously transferred to, obviously, a Sam Kinnock card in Scotland, and then obviously materialised the sort of the fight didn't happen. Were you sort of, I guess, in hindsight, when you sort of look back on things, but like, did the opportunity come, probably the worst time where things weren't obviously working out with your previous fight? And obviously then the phone call comes for George Liddard and it's sort of like, I just need to fight. Was it just...
That was exactly it.
You'd probably offered you £5 and a can of Coke and you'd have took it because it was just an opportunity.
Yeah, that's it, man. It was a great opportunity, man. It was, and I was training, you know what I mean? No, the thing with, I was kind of training, then I wasn't training, then I was training, then I wasn't training because the fight was on, then it wasn't on, then it wasn't. But you know what? Opportunities like that don't come around. I might never get another opportunity like that again. But I might get another opportunity, which is the maddest thing about boxing is I've been offered 2 big fights off the back of that, which is mad. I haven't taken them, but I have been offered 2 big fights after that. One of them was in fucking Australia, you know what I mean? So, will the opportunity come around again? It might. But at that time, I was like, fuck it, it's a massive opportunity. What have I got to lose? So I lose another boxing match. Who cares? And even now I look back, I'm like, so what? I lost. It is what it is. I'm over it now. You know what I mean? It's life. Boxing has taught me so much about life and you're going to lose in life. You're going to lose in life. You know what I mean? You are. There's no ifs or buts about it. You're going to lose at some point in life. So you have to. I'm glad I've processed what happened to me there, but I had lost plenty of times in life before I lost bad against George Liddard. You know what I mean? And in way worse fashion than that. So it was just about processing it right. You know what I mean? So when it came, like you said, when the opportunity came, I just said, fuck it, let's go for it, man. Because the fight had fallen through, man. I really wanted to fight, you know what I mean? Yeah, of course, we looked at him like, man, this kid is 21, he's shit hot. He's a matchroom prospect, and, he comes from a great gym and stuff like that. So I said, look, it's a fucking massive uphill task. We knew that either way, it was a massive uphill task anyway. You got to be realistic too. Some of these boxers out there think they're going to be world champions and stuff like that. Fair play to them, but they're not going to be, you know what I mean? You have to be realistic too, man. Am I going to be world champion? No. So that opportunity might have never arose again, bud. You know what I mean? So it's like, my son now has experienced this already at 9 years of age. He's already better than me. And he's already a better boxer than I've ever been at 9. So I've now bringing my son to these places. So when he comes to those places and when his time comes, he's already been there and done it. So he's not going to get the nerves aren't going to get the better of him when it comes around. So that was the opportunity for me, man. You know what I mean? And plus, I wanted to go on a holiday. So thanks, Eddie Hearn, for paying for my holiday.
I guess when you look back, obviously when you're not going to look back on sort of things too much because obviously you're still boxing and everything else. But you say you boxed on the Josh Taylor, Jack Harrow card. You shared a card with Paddy Donovan. You shared a card with Gary Cully. In years to come, that's memories, as you say, for Dylan. Obviously, growing up, he's obviously been there and experienced them sort of cards. And probably the best sort of thing from that was you and Dylan were standing watching the boxing before he went out to the ring. You know, so
Yeah,
when I shared
yeah,
that picture, and it was one of them moments you're sort of going, it's priceless. You know, it's these
yeah.
memories you have are setting him, and you're already a role model and inspiration for Dylan and the rest of your kids. But them moments you couldn't buy anywhere. You know, getting him to walk
Mm.
at the ring with you and everything else. I know he's walked out the ring with you in other fight cards and things like that, but
Well, it was different. That was different.
he's probably telling his friends and telling the school and everything else. I was in Leeds at a matchroom card. And I met Eddie Hearn and
Yeah.
and everything else. Like I was on TV. I was around the world. You can't buy that.
No, you can't. Look, I just tell you a quick thing here. So, like, I have older kids, from a past relationship who I love and they love me and we're very close now. But my older son and me are, it's a bit different, than what me and Dylan are. And at this precise moment right now, he's in prison, like, you know what I mean? He's in juvenile detention, like, and part of me sometimes feel like I failed him, you know what I mean? Feels like I failed him. Did I or didn't I? I don't know. Me and his mother didn't get on. We get on now, like, but you know, I lived a crazy life too, and obviously it affected all the kids. So there's a part of me there feels like I failed him. You know what I mean? He's in juvenile detention now, and he's on a pretty rough patch at the minute. You know what I mean? He's going through a rough patch. He's only 14 years old, like, you know what I mean? So with Dylan, I don't want to fail him. Like, I don't want to fail him. So I feel like it's my duty as a father to not fail him, you know what I mean? And to be there for my older son too now, you know what I mean? I'm doing as much as I can for him while I can, and when he gets older, I'll do as much as I can. But there's parts of my life there, like, where I did fail him because I was so busy in my own active addiction and doing my own shit, and that I wasn't around for him and to be a father to him, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. And even with my younger girls, my older girls as well, it's different, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to make the same mistake twice. And that's what life is to me, but all this other shit, all this other stuff that goes on in life, the boxing, fucking working, money, all that stuff, that don't mean fucking shit to me. But what being a father to my kids is what the most important thing to me is in life right now. Nothing else comes close to that. But and because I'm not saying I failed because I'm there for them now, and I'm doing as much as I can for now. But I did fail them for years. You know what I mean? I wasn't around. I wasn't a father to those kids because I was too busy doing my own shit, being a selfish bastard, taking drugs, and being involved in crime and going to jail. And so I did fail him in some way, shape, or form, and I'm not going to allow that to happen again. So for me, that situation with Dylan was, now I've brought him, look where he's been, like, and like now at the minute, like, I know I keep saying it, like, but you can ask anyone, like, my young fella is absolutely unbelievable in about. He's shit hot, like, he's absolutely shit hot. Not just doing pads and bags, like, anyone can look good on a pad. My young fella is inspiring 11-year-olds. He's only 9, like, he's fucking unbelievably good, like. So I've given him a pat now to go forward in his life, so I didn't fail him. You know what I mean? I didn't fail him. And that's a winning. So I'm forever winning now, man. You know what I mean? Because of this, like, so that was a big part of it too, man. And I'm not going off course. I just wanted to get that in there like that. For me, it's about being a good father, not fucking being a world champion boxer.
I think that's the thing we're always getting with you, Graham, is you're always open, you're always honest, and it's always from the heart, and like we're obviously, I guess, you know, you'll think where you failed them, you were going through your own struggles in life, and probably for you at that stage, it was good that your kids weren't around because, you might not have had them at the stage they are now, I guess, with your 14-year-old. He's learning lessons probably the same way that you probably learn lessons, and hopefully
Yeah, yeah.
hopefully this current thing he's going through in time, he realizes I don't want to go down this path, So sometimes kids have to mess up before they can obviously fix things, and I say hopefully
Yeah.
it's the one and only time he's in bother with that. Like in years to come, I guess if you're Dylan, obviously ever decides he wants to be a professional boxer, there's going to be pictures floating about the internet in years to come of where it started and where it is now. As
Yeah.
currently as now, and people's going to go, where was your inspiration at for boxing? And like for years to come, maybe going, my dad, my idol, my hero, and everything
That's
else.
exactly it, man. That's exactly it. Like, I take little clips of Dylan every now and again, pads, and I put them up and stuff like that. But I see all these boxers now, world champions, Floyd Mayweather, Gervonta Davis. I think Dylan is so good now that that's his path. Like, that's where he could end up. Like, he's that good, like, already. So I have all these little clips. So when he does get older, he has all these little things to look back on and say, I first walked into a boxing gym when I was 5 years old, which he did. You know what I mean? So I've given him a chance now to achieve. I know what boxing done for me in my life. I mean, like I said, did I become a millionaire from it? No. Did I win a world title? No, but it helped me change my life completely. I have an unbelievable life today that I wouldn't sell for all the money in the world. And if I didn't have boxing when I first got clean and sober, I don't think I would have managed to stay clean and sober. I wouldn't have managed to get all the good things I have in my life now. So boxing did make me who I am. You know what I mean? It is why I am in the position I'm in today. Yeah, obviously I've a massive connection with God and being clean and sober. But like I say all the time, I wouldn't have been able to stay clean and sober early on if I didn't have boxing. So I owe a lot to boxing. I put up a thing the other day, a lot of people text me like, I love boxing, even though it'll never love me back. And it will never love me back. It doesn't love fighters. Boxing doesn't love fighters. It's a ruthless game. But I love boxing. My son now loves boxing. And I'm going to be able to continue to love boxing watching my son in the future box. You know what I mean? So I'm winning, man. You know what I mean? No matter what, I'm winning.
Do you think you'd be one of them crazy parents? Obviously you get the parents
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
football on a Saturday. It's like Dylan will be obviously boxing someone in the ring, and the next thing you'll be trying to climb over the ropes and get in and get at somebody. Will you be that?
If I want, my wife definitely will be one of those people. My wife will definitely be one of those people. She's like, "Can I come in and watch him spar?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "You're not coming in watching him spar." Because she fucking jumped the rope, like. So if I'm not one of those people, my wife is definitely going to be one of those people.
I could just picture it. Obviously, obviously you love your wrestling and stuff like that, and you've been involved in obviously some of the wrestling.
Yeah.
Like you'll be the sort of person, obviously, in the minutes rest between the rounds, you'll be overclassing the young fellas.
Throwing battles with the father. You know what I mean? It's gonna be good. You know what I mean? It's gonna be when my journey's over. I'm not finished yet, though. I do feel like I have a couple of fights left in me. Like even though the last fight didn't go my way, camp was fucking brilliant. I had the best camp of my life. I felt like for those 10 weeks, and then it was stopped and started, but like there was 10 weeks there where I trained. I felt brilliant. I was sparring brilliant. So I feel good, man. You know what I mean? I feel good. After that George Liddard fight, I sat down for those 2 weeks and I said to myself, do I want to continue to fight? For me now, it's about what can I achieve now as a 37-year-old man. Am I going to retire now? No. This fight came about. I'm going to take this fight and I'm going to move on. See how many more fights I can have. Am I going to fight forever? No. I know when I'm retiring. I know when my out date is. I'm not going to say when it is, but I know when I'm out. But I'm going to see how much I can achieve until that point.
Talk to me obviously about the Robbie Burke fight. It sort of came about sort of in a weird way. Obviously, I'd done an interview with obviously Jay and obviously mentioned 5v5 and things like that. And obviously he brought up your name because obviously he wanted to do a 5v5 with Ian, and he brought up your name with Robbie Burke. And what was it? I guess like you're the sort of person you'll fight anybody. Like you're going into, I think it's your 15th fight, 9-4-1. I think so. Your 15th fight. Yeah. I think this will be your 5th or 6th domestic fight as well. Like, what was it? It just made sense, just to have a tear up with Robbie Burke.
Yeah, look, I mean, like, the fight wasn't on my radar or anything like that. Like I have bad say Robbie Burke. I actually like Robbie, and I'm pretty sure he's the same about me. We were supposed to fight in a car together in America a couple of years ago. It never came off. We talked back and forth when that was going on. So he's a family man like myself. I like him. I've not bad say about him, and I don't think he will have any bad say about me. I don't think we need to sell this fight in that kind of way. It's not a damn Craig McCarthy where we need to talk bad about each other. I think it's a fight will sell itself. Like, I don't know, was it you that said it or someone said it? Like, realistically, winner moves on, loser doesn't. Like, so it's a massive fight. It's a very, very good fight. So that was it to me. I've been tagged in a lot of stuff and I didn't share it, but it wasn't out of disrespect to Robbie Burke. I didn't share it because at that time I had just taken a break from boxing for the 2 months. If you look at my Instagram, I didn't really share anything about boxing for a month or two. Just the odd training clip here and there. I was doing a half marathon. Went on a holiday with Lauren and the kids. I just wanted to take a bit of a downtime from it for the summer and spend time with Lauren and the kids really, because like I said a million and one times, even though I live at home, like, I don't see them when I'm in camp. My wife works, I work, the kids are in school. With them, I'm in the gym 2 times a day. So you don't get to see your family when you're in camp for a fight. And that's the truth, man. And I love spending time with my family. And my older lads are out here a bit. And so I just wanted to switch off, my man. So that was the only reason I didn't engage in it. But then Jay had texted me privately and I get on with Jay. And I said, yeah, I seen you tagging me. I said, I'll have a chat with Ian. And we had a chat about a couple of things, the weight, what was going on, and we were able to agree everything, and that was it really, bud. So I mean, it's a good fight. It's a 50-50 Irish domestic clash, another one. So like, everyone knows I don't say no to fights, man. Do you know what I mean? If it makes sense, then why not? Do you know what I mean? It's a good fight. In my eyes, winner moves on, loser doesn't, like, but I don't know what way he looks at it, like, but that's how I'm looking at it, like, you know what I mean? And I know for a fact I'm going to get the best Robbie Burke, and he's going to get the best version of me. So it's gonna make a brilliant fight. Do you know what I mean? So it made sense, man. 100%. Why not? Like,
It's one of them, and I know Robbie said obviously the end of this year will sort of be the last for him, and it's not, I know I said it with obviously Jane interview last week. It's sort of you could have a stipulation where the loser retires, and it's not being disrespectful to either of the two of you. It's just realistic of the fact that where he's at in your careers. I know sometimes they say a loss doesn't define a career, but when you're getting to the tail end of a career, sometimes the harsh reality you need to go, that is the end. Like in a weird
yeah,
situation as well, for Robbie, it's a chance of redemption. Obviously, your stablemate, obviously Jamie Morrissey beaten in the Devonish during
yeah,
COVID.
yeah, yeah.
He obviously, as you say, there's going to be no bad blood in any way, but he's probably looking at it and going, Sean Kelly was obviously in Jamie's corner. Obviously when they fought in the Devonish in Belfast, so he's looking to get one back, in some way as well.
Yeah, look, he probably is looking at it like that, man. Do you know what I mean? But I will say one thing. I'm not looking at this as my last fight. I'm not looking at this as, oh, I'm finished. I'm putting everything into this camp. I'm coming out to win, and I will be winning. The best Robbie Brock shows up and the best me shows up. He doesn't beat me. That's 100% it. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but I'm being straight up honest. I just want to make sure everything goes right. There's no problems, and I will 100% me show up, and 100% me will win. I've no doubt in my mind whatsoever. We were able to agree on the weight. We were able to agree on everything. So as long as everything goes right up there and I get a fair shake and everything done, I will be coming away with the win in that fight. You know what I mean?
It's a 6 rounder as well, I believe. Is it super middleweight? Yeah. Is it middleweight or is it in the middle?
It's not a super middle. It's like I'm not a super middleweight, and I don't think Robbie Brock's super middleweight either. So we agreed on a weight lower than super middle. It's not a super middleweight fight. It's a middleweight fight, realistically.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like a catch weight, like 162, 163, something like that.
Yeah, 163 to 165, I think it is, something like that. So it's not a super middleweight. I'm not a super middleweight, and I don't think Robbie's super middleweight. I think I seen him say some one time that he wasn't super middleweight. Like, what's the point of finding super middleweight when we're not super middleweight? You know what I mean?
I obviously shared a post yesterday, obviously, with the two fights sort of been announced, and you'll obviously able to clarify for him in some ways. Like, there is nothing better than a domestic fight.
Oh yeah, man. 100%. They sell themselves, right? Those fights sell themselves. Like I only announced it yesterday. I'm coming off a loss, right, and a draw. Like you think people wouldn't want to buy tickets to come watch me fight, but everyone texts me, yeah, we're coming, blah blah. I'm still selling tickets because it's a domestic fight. But if I had went away and fought a journeyman, and no one's going to buy tickets for that, but because it's a domestic clash, it's Limerick versus Dublin. It's going to sell tickets, man. You know what I mean? And that's what you want on your boxing shows. If I was a promoter, when I finish up boxing, I am going to go into managing, not promoting. I'm going to go into managing with him. But like, if I was a promoter of a boxing show, I'd want as many domestic clashes as I could get on. You know what I mean? Not because of the obviously, sorry, that the cost is a lot better for the promoter, but it sells the show itself. You know what I mean? It's fucking sells itself realistically, man. You know what I mean? You don't have to fucking keep on going on about the show when it's fucking domestic clashes, like,
Like what you're saying there, obviously, whenever you do finally finish up in boxing, obviously get into management, like I would say, God help any fighter that obviously, you're off the fight and they say no, they'll be straight at the door. It's like,
I'm going to be ruthless.
You're not with us, away you go somewhere else. It's like you're shielding the door.
I will be ruthless, bud. I will be ruthless. I swear to God, I'll be fucking ruthless. Now, obviously, there's some fights that you have to say no to. Like, I mean, I said no to. I got offered Emma Williams one time on like 2 weeks. I said no to it, man. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get killed. Like, you have to be realistic too. There's some fights that you do need to say no to. I understand that, like, but like some fighters are saying no to fucking every fight. You know what I mean? And like for me as a fighter, what's the point of being a boxer if you're going to say no to, especially domestic clashes, to be the best in your country? Because if you can't be the best in your country or domestically take domestic fights, forget about winning in any other country. Because it ain't going to happen, like, you know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. But and as a manager, that's how I'd be. But like, I got to give a big shout out to my manager, Ian Gaughran. He's a great, great guy. He's always been in my corner. And when I first signed with Ian, he had said, right, like, are you willing to fight? Like, we knew each other, but we didn't know each other as well as we do now. He's a very, very good friend of mine. And he non-stop worked in the back for me, even though I haven't won a fight in 4 fights. Like, he still works his bollocks off for me. Like, you know what I mean? He's got all these young, hungry fighters coming up. I've been around the scene now 7, 8 years. know what I mean? I'm not young. I was never young, though, in fairness. I was never young. I mean, I was always fucking old. Well, like, and he still works his bollocks off me, man. So I gotta give a big shout out to Ian and my coach Sean Kelly as well. All my team really, my nutritionist Liam Williams, you know, all the lads work hard for me. But Ian mainly, man, because managing fighters is not an easy job, man. You know what I mean? But like I said, he said to me, "Will you take fights at Ja?" And we've put some story together since that first day we signed together. You know what I mean? It's been some run, like.
I think this will be your 10th fight together as well. As obviously after your break from boxing, you come back. Like your first fight was Jordan Latimer in September 2021. So pretty much coming up on 10 fights in 3 years. During pretty much coming out the back end of COVID as well. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they always say the older the fiddle, the sweeter the tune. Obviously, the older you're
getting. Look how many title fights is in those 10 fights. I think I fought for titles 4 times. I fought on TV. I know it wasn't from Sky Sports. I still fought on these TV shows. I fought on fucking Fights on TV, fucking dazn YouTube, fucking the Conlon card that time. So like, he's got me some big places, man. So big shout out, because I don't think people realize the work that goes on for a professional boxer. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But look, I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about getting back in the ring. But for me, you said it about Robbie Burke redemption. For me, this is redemption for myself. I don't give a shit about it. This is for me. I'm coming here to win for me. And to beat me, he's going to have to kill me in there, bud. I'm telling you now, the best version of me is going to show up here in 8 weeks' time. And that's 100% fact. And like I said already, the best Robbie Burke and the best me, he doesn't beat me. 100% he doesn't beat me. If he wants to have a fight in the middle of the ring, I'll have a fight in the middle of the ring with him. If he wants to stand back in the back foot and box, no problem, I'll do that too. So either way, I know he trains very hard. I see that. You know what I mean? And he's got a great team around him. I'm getting on with all the lads, Philip Sutcliffe Jr., all the lads, Declan Geraghty, they're all sound. I'm not against any of them, but this is a win for me, for Limerick City, for my family. I'm coming for a big, big win here in 8 weeks' time.
Like, obviously, you know, we're not having it, you know, by the time the fight comes around, it'll be a year and a half without a win, you know, what you've been through and everything else. Like, going into the fight, like, you know, and I know you don't want to smack talk or anything like that, but like, can you see yourself stopping Robbie? You know, like, obviously, Robbie's the inexperience of as a pro that you have, that experience as a pro. Like, I can remember your fight with Dominic Donegan in Belfast, and you could hardly miss it stages. You were completely fired up for it. Like, how can you see the fight going? Like, I know you only have one stoppage in a record, and somebody will go, Graham McCormack stopping somebody, what are you on, sort of thing. But like, can you see yourself stopping Robbie?
I tell you, I'm going in here with that in my head because I've been fucked over before in fights. You know what I mean? And that's always on my head now. Like that, I've been fucked over before in fights, and I'm not going to let that happen again. Or not, it doesn't bother me. But either way, it's going to be a dominant performance from me. You know what I mean? It'll be so dominant that they can't take it from me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm very weary of that now these days, bud. There'll be no one making a fool of me in the boxing, bud. And that's a fact. I don't give a fuck who they are. I don't care. There's no one making a fool of me in this boxing game anymore. It's happened to me before, it won't be happening to me again. And that's a promise. I can guarantee that. So I'm coming in there. Whether it's a stoppage or not, it doesn't bother me, but it will be a dominant performance for me. I will be getting a massive, massive win, and I will be doing it in great fashion.
Definitely. Well, look, obviously, I wanted to keep it sort of short and sweet, but obviously to sort of announce the fight at the same time. Obviously, enjoy your next 7-8 weeks, obviously, at camp. And I'll no doubt catch up with you, obviously, in Dublin on fight week. And I'm sure we're going to wee yarn before, obviously, fight night comes around.
Perfect. Good.
Well, look, thanks as always for your time, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Thank you, pal.
Thank you, everybody.